Off you go, Gift. What's
all right? So I think my first trilogy that I have, I got to agree with JP on this one. It's the Godfather one. That's creme de la creme, in my opinion. I think the second one that I said. Oh wait, so make sure I'm doing it. It's trilogies that we like, not the trilogies that we think are ranked the highest, right?
I guess just whatever it is that your tastes are, and just whatever
it's different. Because what I love,
it's really hard. It's not an easy thing, is it?
Yo, the trilogies, my favorite trilogies are different than the trilogies that I think are best ranked. So let me talk about it. So as I'm saying it, these are my preferred trilogies that I can watch over and over and over again and just not be out. So yeah, so number one is the Godfather trilogy. Like I said, creme de la creme on it. Number two is all three movies being able to watch is probably going to be current James Bond. Our current James Bond.
Daniel Craig.
James Bond. Ending with after what was the third one he did? Ending with Casino Royale. No, Casino Royale was the first one. Second one was and ending with the one where M dies. That trilogy. Everything after that has been trash. But within that concept, that one. And then the third one, actually, I'm gonna lie. I'm lying to you. Let me spin this one back up. The second one, the Bourne trilogy, and then followed by the Bond trilogy. Because the Bourne trilogy, while I felt like Bourne Supremacy was a much slower movie, I had to go back and watch it because I watched it in theaters and you go in with expectation. Watching it back, it was far more intricate than I gave it credit for. And then whenever you got to Bourne Ultimatum, that was the single best choreography prior to Daredevil, the show. Single best, which actually Daredevil, the show was influenced by Bourne Ultimatum and the Bourne fighting style. But that one, hands down, just cleaned out. It's one that I can watch from beginning to end all the way through. And I think my bonus one, would be on the outside looking in, is probably, can you call it a trilogy? Because they're not really connected. But
put it out there. What is it?
There's three movies.
Bill and Ted.
Power Rangers trilogy. That's not really a trilogy.
No, it's not counted. No.
The first two are connected, and then the last one is a reboot, but we can't count that one in. All right.
Oh, you were all doing so well with those first three. I was so impressed with those first three. So let's just stick with that. I have to cut that out.
Power Rangers.
Well, that's really, really interesting because I've got the Bourne trilogy as well.
Nice.
Just for its ability to do what I think a trilogy should do, which, as I said, first movie gets built on by the second, gets built onto the third, and reaches a huge climax. And each of those movies just built on top of each other, and you just found out more about Jason Bourne. He got pushed harder, he got pushed longer, and he got closer and closer to find out who he was. And the ending was just great. Just so satisfying. The whole series was just great. And you mentioned it, how it shaped so many action movies. It shaped nearly every spy movie movie that's come out, particularly Bond. So I remember listening to an interview with some of the Bond people saying that when Bourne came out, it just changed the whole game. Like these, and again, think about Black Widow. You think about that scene between Helena and the Black Widow in that house in Budapest. That was just pure Bourne. That was pure Bourne.
That one-shot fight scene, like it is something that I've always felt needed to become, and it should have been it should have been the gold standard for choreographed fight scenes in any action movie. that one-off shot, because the cutaways are you start to really realize how often cutaways are used in it to try and make up for the fact that the actors are not, they're not stunt people, so they don't know how to do the action scenes. And it's going to be interesting because even something like that impacts in the Marvel world where we have Moon Knight. And if you guys have seen like those back a little, even though I'm not super impressed by them, but what's his name? The guy who played the captain in this
Oscar
last
Isaacs?
Oscar Isaac.
Yes, Oscar Isaacs. Like seeing the choreography videos of Oscar Isaac doing his training for his Moon Knight role. Like it adds to that. Like you have to have that intensity. Now, again, mind you, I don't consider it to be the most impressive stuff, but even like a John Wick, and I almost wanted to put the John Wick in there, but I feel like the first one was so iconic that it set a standard, and everything has just been a slight repeat of what we've gotten, but it's not been as bad as it was like with the Matrix. Like every John Wick movie has still been good in themselves, but it's just hard to top just how simple and how epic just that first one. Like that, I consider, if I was going to put it in, if I took out Power Rangers, I'd probably put the John Wick one in, because I think that one was the perfection of simple story but cohesive with a very clear idea of what it wanted to be, but it didn't cheat us of any it didn't cheat us of like emotion or feelings in any kind of way, which like where you take like a Transformers movie where you're basically trying to do the same thing, simple story with a lot of action, and it's just chaos. You're just kind of like, okay, you guys are just throwing stuff out and explosions, but I don't feel anything. I just know stuff is happening.
No, that's a John Wick is definitely one of the best ones in the last three. I've only really got one extra one that you guys don't have. So I had, as we said, I had Bourne, and I had the Lord of the Rings, which again, it's got a real advantage, just like Harry Potter and a lot of those other movies. It is mapped out already, like it's already there. The money's been put up. All principal photography happened in one chunk. It really is one movie cut up into three. So it's got an advantage that others do not have. As opposed to Bourne, which the first one came out, made money, they had another one. They already kind of knew they were making the third, but they kind of made it up as they went. I also, of course, had what we talked about last time, which was the Planet of the Apes.
Right.
And that one just, again, like all the movies all good trilogies, at the end of the absolute pinnacle of the climax of the third movie, you should be absolutely exhausted with emotion, right? That's how I felt at the end of The Lord of the Rings. I still feel that way when I see the whole thing fall down, and we see the eye fall down, and we see all of Mordor go into the flames. That just gets me. I feel that way about watching the end of Planet of the Apes with Caesar, who got, all running away from the big snow thing, and then him dying in the desert. It's like, wow, this has been 9 hours, or not 6 hours probably, of entertainment, and I feel utterly satisfied with that.
Wait, you're talking about for Lord of the Rings or for Planet?
I'm talking about all good trilogies. That's what I was going to say.
Lord of the Rings is a solid 9 hours of entertainment.
I love. The climax has just got to bowl me over, and I was totally bowled over with the climax of Lord of the Rings. And the John Wick one is really interesting because, again, really good movies. But the last one, I don't even remember the climax of that one. I just remember being extremely stylistic, super good, but thinking to myself, what was that all about? And so we could be discussing this forever. The amount of trilogies are out there and amazing. There's Back to the Future.
Right.
To me, that went. I don't know how you guys feel about that one. Started super high, obviously, one of the most influential movies. Dropped, but picked itself up again. I thought.
See,
quite like the second.
You same here. Like I've never gotten the dislike on the second. Like the only one that I thought was a little bit like kind of cheaty was the third one, just because of the fact that we were literally rehashing the first one all over again. But then we had the way it concluded. But even with the second one, and I have to remember, because sometimes I intersect the two together, because Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 1 was him going to his mom, and then he went into the future to see himself, right? See what it was. And then the second one was in the country, right? Yeah.
The second one was no, that's the third one.
Yeah, but the thing is, Back to the Future is not 3 movies. It's actually just one long movie cut into 3.
Well, no, the first one, when they did the first one, they put it the two bit, and they had no idea what they were going to do next. That whole to be continued. Zemeckis and they did not know. they had no plan. They just, they thought the movie was going to crash.
What was the second one then again?
The second one is when they go
they went to the future
to see his kids, and then he has to go back again.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's what I thought.
That actually happened yesterday.
August
3rd, 2021. That was yesterday.
Right. Oh, Lord. That's so sad.
Oh,
we still don't have flying cars.
We never will. And God willing, we never will, because nobody knows how to drive on land, let alone to be able to fly through the air. But may that never occur for regular people on this planet.
What I think about Back to the Future, and this is my whole idea of lots of trilogies, is Back to the Future. What happens is particularly those studios and stuff, a movie finishes and there's still a lot more plot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of plot, and you see, wow, what's going to happen next is plot. But what it's really got to be about is what's going to happen with the characters. And with the Back to the Future one, it's all plot, right? It's all going from here to there to there. You don't actually see Marty have much of a character arc. And in the second one, you don't see much. You see even less character arc because it's all boom, boom, boom. I actually like the second one, but I do understand how people just felt like they're watching a kind of a tennis game. We're going from here, we're going from there, we're going to there. At least in the third one, Doc has a relationship with the teacher, and Marty has to deal with his anger issues. It finally gets a chance to see character stuff. And so funnily enough, I watched Terminator 2 today.
Yeah.
Right? No, sorry, Terminator 1. Now, the first two Terminators are some of the best movies. Right?
Terminator 2, again, one of those 99%, 100% perfect movies.
And it was all about Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
When Sarah Connor finishes up her journey at the end of the second movie, that's the end of her journey.
Yeah.
And really, that's the end of the Terminator, right?
Right.
Everything that comes after that has been rubbish because it's not been a continuation of a character's journey. They
keep trying to make it about John Connor, but we don't know anything. We don't got a backstory, John Connor. And when they try to do that, we don't have a good lead up because we don't have any change. He's just the savior. It never adds anything. And then we can't do it about the Terminator itself because actually, if they literally did a story about the Terminator's process of becoming human in it, I think it would have been probably a far more interesting movie than it would be as we keep focusing on John Connor constantly.
There's a lesson to be learned from this, boys and girls. You don't try to follow up James Cameron.
Yeah.
You do not.
Yeah,
whether it's Alien 3 or it's Terminator 3, you do not try to top one of the masters of filmmaking. I don't think he's the perfect filmmaker, but when it comes to the big Hollywood blockbusters, the man is damn near perfect.
Whenever it takes you, 10 years to develop a movie each time, you can't follow that up because it's too much detail, too much subtle, nuanced detail. Because Cameron is bizarro Adam Sandler, Adam Sandler is taking it, doing movies so that he can take his friends on vacations. James Cameron just does movies so he can just test out all the technology all the time and then just implement it into basically the simplest storyline that you could ask for. And then just make it dynamic in terms of emotion.
Was he the one who made The Abyss?
Say that again?
Was he the one who made The Abyss?
Yeah, that was him.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
that was him.
Yeah, because he's the first one who did CGI like that. And it was Jurassic Park because I saw the making of Jurassic Park the other day. Jurassic Park, when it was wearing a dinosaur, had to keep going back to the Abyss. Because again, James Cameron, mind you, he kills all his crew members, right? He beats them to death because he's a psycho.
Right.
But But getting back to, I mean, again, I use it. He did. There was Alien, and there was Aliens. The story of Ripley, almost pretty much brought to a perfect conclusion at the end of the Aliens.
Yeah.
And then they have to. They want to do a third one, and they have to basically resurrect the character. Resurrect the character. Same with the Terminators. We have to resurrect this story. We have to the pump start. Die Hard. Why aren't the Die Hard movies? Why are they dying away? Because they have to keep resurrecting the same plot. They think they can resurrect. But it's not the plot that's the problem. Is that it's this character.
There's nothing growing with whatever Bruce Willis's characters. Guys, it's just like, yeah, yippee-ki-yay. Yeah, you're a regular guy who's got to fight some other guy. It's just like
so kind of like the Fast series.
Fast and Furious.
But with the Fast series, they at least know they don't care about character development. All you need to know is that they are invincible, they have family, and I can't even say that they care about cars because that doesn't even matter anymore now. But it's basically all it is like, all right, how much can we lean into this family? What are we doing for the family? And really just how ridiculous can we get for it? Which
I can't comment. I think I saw the last one, the third one, and I fell asleep during it, so I can't comment.
Oh, you missed out, man. I'm telling you, whenever you got the Fast Five and they were like, oh, we're a heist movie now instead of a speed car movie, you know, it changed the game. And then whenever they destroyed Brazil, and which was
destroyed Brazil,
just that was interesting.
With that big safe.
Exactly, where you're just like, yo, this is just murder. Like, this is all collateral damage of murder. Nobody lived getting hit or swiped near by that safe. Random cops is dying. And I was just like, okay, I see where you guys are going. But I know for me, with the Fast movies, Fast 7, I think was the line for me, where I was just like, this is just ridiculous now. Like, it was cartoonishly entertaining. Now it's just like, there's no consequences for you guys. There are no consequences. So little consequence that you don't even care about a story anymore. What in the hell is happening?
Let's remind our friends to please click on the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know when we have new videos out.
Subscribe.
Subscribe or die.